me gloves.
Heard.
I'll leave it there.
Chopping parsley.
Neat. All of it.
Tell me the opinion. Hey, we have insert 19 No, I need the direct heat on that fan. You're at 350, so you're good. I mean, that's the thing I gotta have. About 25 feet.
Yeah, that.
20 minutes.
Heard.
Hey, we have. ProStart is a program that was started back in about 2005 by the National Restaurant Association, and it was designed specifically to start a culinary program in high schools.
It has to do with trying to bring some of that, the trade of working in the restaurant industry into the classroom. So getting that firsthand experience with training students for culinary arts.
And then out of that, they developed the competition side of it, which is the ProStart Invitational, which every state does. And that's based on culinary teams of 5 people competing with their culinary items. And then the winners of each state advancing to the national competition.
In the fall of 2023, the Pillager High School ProStart culinary team entered its 7th year of competition with high expectations, and with good reason. They were coming off a 2022 season where Tiny Pillager finished state runner-up to one of the largest school districts in Minnesota, perennial culinary powerhouse Elk River.
With the 2 that I had coming back, I knew that we could do things that were a little more difficult. Number one, both Delaney and Isla were really dedicated to not just what we were doing right at that moment, but everything about preparing for this, what we were doing.
Heard.
So that was our overall goal, was to beat Elk River and the other teams. We were hoping to get first because the last 2 years I've been in ProStart, we got 2nd, and that was the highest place we've ever gotten.
We kind of describe it, the team that usually beats us at state is Elk River, and we kind of consider them the best of the best.
We started really early on practices this year. We were counting on it, knowing that we had me, myself, and Isla back this year. We had pretty good chance of winning first.
I think we've always had that in our mindset. I know the 2 seniors, it was in their mindset that they wanted to take state. They'd had the taste of 2nd and they wanted that taste of 1st. And so they were really instrumental in bringing the rest of the team up to speed with them.
They're taking longer today. See, the temp's down to like 270 now. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
I wanted to win. I knew the potential we had based on our feedback from Tom and Miss Wise and just all of Tom's chef people that would see our plates, and they would come in and try our plates, and I wanted to blow them away.
So, after 5 months of pre-dawn practices and hard work, the 2023 Pillager ProStart team traveled to the Minnesota State competition with a singular purpose: dethrone the defending state champs and accomplish a goal no other Pillager team or activity had ever achieved: win a state championship.
So for the competition, students have to make a 3-course meal, and that consists of your appetizer, and then it also is your entree, and then a dessert. And it's a 3-course meal within 1 hour time frame, using the propane gas stoves for camping. You can use the camp stove oven as well. The rules specifically state nothing that is electric or battery operated can be used. So if you need to cut something up, you're using a chopper that you're cutting. If it's something like nuts, for example, you're using that to cut. All of the other cuts are done by hand using your chef knife or cleaver. So you're actually doing everything pretty manually to prepare your 3-course meal during that hour time. During the hour time, everything has to be completed, finished, and hands up. If you go over, you lose points.
There's 50 points that you can control and 50 points that you can't control. 100 points total in the competition. The 50 points that you can control are those sanitation, organization, your menu development and planning. Those are all things that you work on continually, and you need to do correctly every time. You need to do that with food too, but the judges on those sanitation and organization points, they're looking at a very specific thing. It's like either you have it or you don't. When it comes to the food, it becomes an opinion. And so all we can do is cook the best food possible, plate it as nice as we can, and then put it out in front of those tasting judges. And then it just becomes, what do those judges like or think?
All right, good job. Good job.
Everyone was thinking like, oh, like we're aiming for first, and obviously I was too. But in reality, it was like my first year, my first time ever competing, so I was just trying not to mess up and just like try to do my best because I was super nervous because I've never done anything like that before.
We knew that if there's a year we could for sure make it, that this was going to be the year to take the first place home, because last year they were so close and it was just such a minor thing that made them lose that we knew like this year was going to be the year. If everything went to plan that we'd been practicing, like this year was the year.
It wasn't flawless. They had an oven that would not stick. It would not stay. It was collapsing when we had what we needed to cook. We were getting ready to put the second thing into the oven, and it was nerve-wracking. And the one team member, the one chef, she actually burned her arm during that time that they were trying to fix it, and no one knew it. We did not know she burned her arm until the competition was over with and she was finished off the clock, and then we found out she'd burned her arm. They were so into what they were doing in the zone. They were just really engaged in what they were doing and working together as a team.
So we just had to work through it. But we got that down pretty good, and then we were a little bit behind on time somewhat, but we got that good as well. We kind of missed a couple of things on the dishes, but they still really enjoyed it.
We had some things happen at competition that we didn't anticipate, but we kind of adapted and overcame them really well. And I think the judges looked into that with our scoring of how well we handled the situation, because unexpected things happen even in the real world when you're in the kitchen.
We felt really confident, but we didn't know because there was a long time of waiting, because there were still other teams still going while we were done. And with the judges, they had really good critiques and really good stuff to say about our dishes, which they usually always do. But yeah, it just felt really nerve-wracking to wait for all that.
It was like mind game pretty much. Like 1 second we're like, we got it, and then the next we're like, okay, but like what if this happened? Like what if they saw something they didn't like and Elk River did the one thing way better? Because obviously we were competing against Elk River pretty much for the first place.
It was super nerve-wracking. Like me, Brianna, and Sam were all just like holding hands, like waiting for the calls.
And like they're announcing all of like the awards, like best sanitation, best teamwork, and we didn't really get any of them except best tasting food. So we're like, we can have the best food, but we have to have the sanitation, we have to have the teamwork, we have to have all that kind of things. And we were really confused why we didn't get those awards, because like we did really good with that kind of stuff.
It was really difficult. We were actually kind of nervous about it. We thought that it wasn't going to go very well based on how things had gone.
So you're sitting there and they're basically, you've gone through your critiques, you've heard the things that you could have done different. Is that going to be enough to make it that, we don't get enough points off of that? Did we do something wrong? Are they looking at it that way? Or are they just doing it as a suggestion for next time? But when they're announcing stuff, and they announced the third place team, and you think, oh, that was a team that could have beat us. And then it's the second place team, the dream team, the Elk River team that we have done everything we can to make sure that that's the team we've set our sights on, and we have to beat their second place. And the feeling is pretty good that I think we just won this thing.
And we knew we would be in the top 2 or 3. And so as soon as we heard Sauk and Elk River, we knew like there's no way that anybody other than them could have beaten us with our plates and like everything that we did, because we overcame a lot in our competition time.
It was just an amazing feeling. Some teammates even cried.
Until you hear it, you know, it's not over until you hear it. So that was the most amazing part. Yeah.
That was our goal. That's what we worked on all year. We wanted to win that competition and then to get your name called.
It meant a lot for us. It meant that we were the first Pillager team to win any state at anything, and in the whole school. And it was just amazing feeling like we finally did it, and that means that we're not going to stop practicing after state. We're going to continue to practice.
Why?
Because we're going to go on to nationals and compete.
So nice. 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. What we did today here on plates, I think I would be pretty happy with stuff. And now we got to, kind of concentrate on all the other little details. I've said this before that people ask me how are we going to do, and I don't know. I mean, we don't know all those things, but we're going to be facing 47 or 46, whatever it is, other really good culinary teams. Like I said, we're facing another 46 Elk Rivers. One has to assume they're the best of their wherever they competed, but that I think we're
we're the best of the best that are competing.
Exactly.
PROSTART, if you have not heard, they won state and they qualified for the national competition next week in Washington, D.C. So yes, a round of applause for them.
So we leave Monday morning. The students will compete on Wednesday morning, and then they'll have to wait until Thursday night for awards. I believe all states, with the exception of 2, are going to be there this year. So we're pretty excited about it and pumped. So congratulations to our PROSTART team. They are representing Pillager very well.
So obviously, getting out to nationals, we feel like we've already accomplished our biggest thing we wanted to do this year, and that was to win the state championship. And now we'll go out and now we'll face, as I've been telling them, Elk River. We set our sights on Elk River for the state, knowing that they were the best of the best. And that's who we needed to beat. And now all we have to do is go out and beat 48 Elk Rivers. If we're going to win this. But that's not, I shouldn't say that's not the highest thing on our list. Our first thing is to go out there and just to perform very well. People ask me, how do you think they'll do? And based on what they've been doing, I tell them I won't be surprised if they finish in the top 10, if they do what we've been doing. They are a really, really good kitchen brigade. And they do a great job. And in fact, they continue to almost irritate me in that they don't get nervous at all. All right.
All right, team, are you ready? Yes. I can see myself. On your mark. Get set. Go.
All right, you're on the clock. minutes away. 4 minutes away. Looking nice. Okay, 15. Here we go. Here we go. You're finishing up. Beautiful, beautiful. Use your time. Looking good. Looking good. Hey, be careful with those plates. They're gold. All right, and
we've been talking about it since the beginning. Like, we always talked about how we wanted to go, but I don't think it's kicking in for any of us yet. I think it's definitely going to be the way to the airport, or when we're at the airport on the airplane, like that's going to be like, oh shoot, like we're really doing this, like we're going to nationals. Like, we've been preparing for this all year. Like, we wanted to make it to state and win state, but like it was more like a whoa, like we actually really did it.
People tell me like it's a huge deal, and like I know it's a big deal for our school and for our state, and especially like our area. And like people tell me like, hey, this is a huge deal, like you guys gotta bring it, and we're like, we know that, but I don't think it's really, I know for me at least, it hasn't totally hit that like we're going out and we're doing this, like little pillager.
Good morning. I'd like to welcome you to the Bonaire of American Airlines Flight 3487, service to Washington Reagan this morning.
Cheers.
How was your first flight, Mulaney?
It was good. It was fun.
On the ground in the nation's capital, this upstart crew of cooks from Pillager arrived at the famous Washington Hilton, ready to put their skills to the test in one of the biggest culinary competitions in the world.
Tom and I both tried to tell the kids, take and soak it in. Enjoy the experience. Just getting here is winning. You've already done the big part. Now let's have fun and keep doing what you're doing.
Where's 3? Okay, I got 3. Let's go.
It's right there, right next to
Okay, we're going. Did you send it? Did you send it?
Yes,
Okay.
I sent it.
3, 2, 3, 1.
Yes.
3, 2, 3, 1. Okay, got it.
Hold up.
Surrounded by teams from places like New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles, the team from tiny, unknown Pillager, Minnesota took it all in.
Welcome to Washington. Are you ready for an incredible NIPSE 2023?
But as it turned out, unknown Pillager wouldn't stay unknown for long.
Please welcome Neil Sudezar, the Associate Vice President of Commercial Accounts for DirecTV for Business. Come on, Neil.
Thank you guys so much. My Pillager, Sauk Rapids people, my Minnesota, where are you at?
We were all just like, wait, did he just say Pillager?
My wife's from Randall, Minnesota. Very few people will know that. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for representing.
here we are in this, you know, big city with all of these states and all of these schools, and here we have a shout out to our little tiny town, you know, and so that was probably something really exciting, and I think that really got the kids hyped up. And I know it got them very hyped up, so yeah, it was really cool.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So here's what I'm going to do.
It's rearranging the way
That's
you
heavy.
want them.
I'm going to pack them how I want them.
Oh.
Well, it kind of feels like we are like with the president in the room right now, and we just got coffee, so we're all excited. And now he's going to tell us about the big day, checking in food.
This is the war room.
Starting out with the fungi. I mean the mushroom.
This is the war room.
The war room,
right?
yeah. Yes, we're preparing for battle.
It is battle, isn't it?
Battle against several states. Yes. Like the Civil War.
We are actually getting all the coolers and equipment packed for check-in down at the competition. So we got to have all of our coolers set up and labeled properly. And of course we'll ice them. We just bought the product here. And then our dry stuff over here has been all kind of pre-measured. A lot of
Should
it
I
has
change it
anyway.
to 2 eggs?
So
Right, like.
yeah, just put 2 on there. Yeah.
Product check-in. It's the biggest fear of any culinary competition team. Every item used by these young chefs has to be properly accounted for, properly packaged, and meet very specific standards.
Well, actually, I'm a little bit nervous.
This is probably the worst part about
I don't like product check-in. Too many things that can go wrong. So they're going to check temperatures on all the cold stuff and make sure that everything is properly packaged. There's no leakage or things happening with that. And then we also do our dry food items too, which some of that we have in smaller containers. It's always, you know, there's stuff you're supposed to be able to do that, but you always worry about that. Like, are they going to say something about that item? And you hope your coolers are packed right. And temp. It's so important that everything hits temp, because otherwise we got to figure out how to replace it. The scoring and timing technically starts now, even though they don't have their official timer here. That won't be until tomorrow. Then everything is timed and on the clock, but we can't communicate with them here basically at this point. So anytime they're in active, you know, parts of scoring, we can't communicate with them. So they have to figure stuff out on their own.
After months of painstaking hard work, the fact that a single degree of temperature or a misplaced egg could mean the end of everything has tensions running high. And despite a near-perfect check-in, Team Pillager doesn't get through without a problem. They brought pre-chopped and unpackaged pistachios and peanuts, which is not allowed, and they must be replaced, or the team will start their cook with a major deduction.
So what did they take out?
Nothing.
What? They had to take out something.
No, they didn't take anything. They put it back in the
It needs to be store packaged.
It needs to be store packaged, or we need to buy it and crush it during competition.
Right.
Pistachios and the peanuts, they kept them because we're supposed to replace them with packaging immediately.
Yes.
So,
Original package.
Okay, so but they kept them. So
That's fine. We just switch it out.
Okay,
Yeah,
just check
okay.
it.
It's because if you wanted to use it, you just get points marked.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that doesn't. If you bring it in by the cooking time,
Yeah.
no
Yep.
points get affected.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. All right. Okay, but this takes a whole lot of pressure off trying to go find, so I'm going to go get set. I want to get situated, and I want to go on a journey.
So what do you need to get?
I need to get sachets and peanuts, ideally if I can find crushed.
Prepackaged? Yes. Because if you don't, I don't think we have time.
Did they allow the sachet flour?
Yes.
I didn't hear a word about that.
No, there was no word about that.
Was that in a bag, or how did you package
It was in the same thing as the peanuts and pistachios.
We can get them crushed. If we have to, you will have time. I guarantee it. That's why we brought along Ziploc bags.
Huh?
You put them in there and we smash them.
Okay,
I could do that.
I guarantee it. Can
Yeah,
get
and
done.
I
could do it. I could do it in 30 seconds.
While Coach Tom heads out on a mission to solve the unpackaged pistachio problem, the rest of the team decides to relieve the pre-competition stress by doing a little exploring in the nation's capital.
The stars on the carpet are really pretty.
How many senators are there?
100. Oh, there's 100.
And how many of these guys?
435.
Good job.
Nice job, team.
The biggest thing I talked about with them was, number one, have fun. Go out there and have fun. You've done this many, many times. But the other one was, and this is the biggest deal, because as a professional chef, when I compete, if something goes wrong, I can make adjustments. I've cooked for years and years. They are young chefs that haven't had that experience, but I told them, you're capable of making adjustments. If something doesn't work, don't get nervous. Communicate with each other, decide what you have to do, and fix it.
Have fun, all right? This is the fun part. You've been doing this for months. This is muscle memory. Have fun.
It's pretty intimidating because you're like, all right, now this is it. This is just before the competition. This is all we have to prep and everything. So we're on our own from this point out.
I was super nervous, and at first I didn't really say much because I was just like in my head a lot. But then I started talking to like the other teammates, and we just kind of, I don't know, they definitely calmed me more, and I think we had a lot of confidence too, because we've been doing it for so long. We knew we could do it.
All right, here we go.
My legs were starting to shake, getting nervous. Like, if I thought state was nerve-wracking, this is like more nerve-wracking times like 10.
All right, they're looking good. Looking good, looking good, feeling good. You're thinking every step of the way that there's going to be an error, there's going to be a mistake, are they going to be able to get through it? And they go through and you're 15 minutes in and everything's going smooth as silk, and you're 30 minutes in and it's just going perfect, and 45 minutes in. Carefully, carefully, carefully. Check your plates. Looking good. Looking good, guys. Looking good. Looking good. All right, here we go. Boom, 60 minutes, you're plated on time. And that, if anybody was sitting around me, they saw something I don't do very often, and that's I actually had tears in my eyes. And it was just because I was so happy for them. Hey, couldn't have gone much better than that. I mean, honestly, it was just absolutely spot on. Timing, everything. It's the best performance they've had in all of our practices and everything. It's the best run we've ever had, I think.
It was just a relief because we've been practicing and like getting ourselves ready for this moment for months, for like a month now, ever since state, and it was just so nice to just be done with it. Like, I mean, it's super sad too. Like, it's definitely bittersweet because like that is the last time we're gonna cook that meal for like our team and everything. But I think it was a big weight lifted off all of our shoulders, definitely.
It just felt like a sign of relief for like all of us, I think, because we were so happy that we made it to DC and finally got to cook, and we got that out of the way so we don't have to stress about that anymore.
There were so many tears because it's like the last hurrah. This is it. And like for Delaney and Isla, they've really been the foundation, and like really just like leaving them makes me really sad. And just like the great connections and like the memories that we have here.
Anyway, how do you guys think we're gonna do? Okay, how do you think we're gonna do? Okay, how do you think we're gonna do? Dude, I'm excited. I'm happy we're here no matter what happens. Good answer. You're the only one that answered.
Yeah, I'll answer. I didn't know you were filming me. I think that no matter how it comes out in the placing, we put our best foot forward, and that's all that matters.
I think the best accomplishment is that we made it here to nationals. Yeah.
This team will always be the team. You know, whatever every team does after this, I mean, you know, if ever we were fortunate enough to place or win at nationals, then that will be that team that does that. But this is the team that started us, you know, now at the national level, just like the first team that placed was that team. So I will never forget them, that's for sure.
The best reward for me was in the month of June, school's out, summer's in session, and I get a card from one of the team members, and the card was beautifully written, thanked about all the dedication and time put into the program, and mentoring her and working with her through the program and the team over the last few years. Beautifully written card, just really, really touched my heart. That is where I feel the reward. It's not the winning the competitions all the time. The reward is when a kid says, thank you for helping me find my passion and knowing what I want to do in life. I'm getting goosebumps. That's the best part of it.
That's what I think is really cool about this. Whether you win and do it, anybody, any school that has the courage to do PROSTART and do this program and compete, I can't promote it enough. I mean, I just think it's a whole way for students that might have never been noticed or ever, really existed in other stuff to showcase a talent. And I think more schools need to have it. This team will always be the team. I will never forget them, that's for sure.